Good afternoon, good evening. Javier Franco, Perspective from My Porch, Steps for Success, Life Coach, founder. I haven't been on here in a while. I haven't been posting anything, pretty much on video. I've been recovering from an accident, like most of y'all know, and I've just been slowly recovering, taking my time, just taking my time to make sure that everything's going right. Everything is going right. I'm still going through therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, physical therapy. Um, One of the things that I have been doing is learning how to walk again. Yes, I can walk. I was able to walk, but most of y'all who know me that know that at one time before this accident I was pretty bad off, uh, because of past injuries, because of things that had been going on in my life, stroke, back surgery, neck surgeries, hip surgeries, and in some weird way, this past injury uh, became a blessing in disguise. I know that's weird to say, but it became a blessing in disguise because the damage that I did on my neck was on a lot of nerves. As it was on my spine and my spinal cord. Um, they did a laminectomy, like I said, told y'all in the past. They did a laminectomy. Sorry, there's mosquitoes out here. Um, and one thing that I had to do was learn how to walk again. Once again, how to walk again. Um, I say that in that way because when I had my first hip surgery, I had to learn how to walk. Um, then I had my second hip surgery, my left hip surgery, and once again I had to relearn how to walk and walk the proper way, swinging my arms, not walking so stiff. I was doing really great. Then I had my neck surgery, my first neck surgery. It sounds weird. My next first neck surgery, and once again I had to relearn how to walk. Uh, Years went by, had a stroke, had to learn how to walk again. Once again, I had back surgery. This time I didn't have to learn how to walk, but I had to learn how to balance myself, and I had to learn how to move my legs in a safe way, not so much on how to walk. So up at that point, I had learned how to walk 5 times, not including as a baby learning how to walk then. So I learned how to walk 6 times over and over and over, and each time I learned something different. Um, with this surgery, I had to, once again, learn how to walk again, not once but twice. Once after the accident, and then once after the the surgery. The reason I say I had to relearn how to walk is because in some way I was not walking the right way. I was not walking uh, in a balanced way. I was shuffling. I was waddling. A lot of you have seen me walk, and I was waddling at the time. I got to that point. Some of y'all have seen me pre-waddle days. Some of y'all have seen me during my waddle days. And now, as I'm going through this last time of this surgery, I am also walking in a straight line. I'm not waddling. I am using a walker, but now they're teaching me to use a cane. Now, here's the point to this. As I'm learning to use a cane, one of the things that they're doing is they put me on a harness, and I'm doing it in Abilene. I won't discuss why, but there's a reason I did it. I made that decision. But they put me in a harness, and there's a railing on the ceiling of this rehab place. And I'm in that harness, and I'm walking with a cane, and I am walking with this harness as best as I can. The reason I'm not having success is because there's fear in my mind. There's fear in my brain and there's fear in my heart. I'm scared that I'm going to fall, and my therapist, wonderful physical therapy. I have a great team over there. Uh, she keeps telling me, Javier, you're not going to fall. You're being held up by a harness. You're not going to fall down. And she'll tell me that continuously. You're not going to fall down. Have confidence. Have confidence. Uh, and then I'm learning how to get up and down from a chair. I work on that constantly. I'm working on my muscles on my legs. And then I have to work on my muscles on my upper body, and that's where occupational therapy comes in, because I do have weak arms, weak hands. So there she's working on that. And there's times that it's like the most simple exercises are the ones that are the most beneficial. There's 2 points that I've set so far. The harness is holding me up. I'm not going to fall because there's a support system. Catch that. There's a support system. Number two, my occupational therapist is teaching me to use my hands, reteaching me to use my hands. And the support that she gives me is valuable. And she teaches me very small steps of how to do things with my hand, and I'm doing lots better. My speech therapist has been working with my neck, my muscles, and there's days that I just it just and some of you will love this. There's days that I just don't want to talk because my voice is just tired. Around this time, it usually gets really tired, and it's because of the damage to the vocal cords and everything else. Let's go for the first point. I have a support, and I'm not gonna fall. There's a support system. I'm walking with a harness. There's a support system. Plus, I'm walking with a cane. Now, the wonderful thing about it is that that support is not going to allow me to fall on the ground, but I'm still scared. In our general life, when we're taking new steps into a new area of our lives, when we're taking new steps, or when we have the opportunity to take new steps, we have to have a good support system so that we don't fall, and when we do fall, or if we're almost falling, that support system catches it. Make sure that your support system is strong, mentally, emotionally, physically. Make sure they're there to support you if you fail, that they're there to support you and encourage you and to keep you going. Because when you're taking new endeavors in life, you're going to need that support system. You might fail, and the first time you fail, sometimes we just give up. And we're going to have to get up once again and keep going, or we can stop. As I was going through those therapy and the rehab and stuff, I had fear, and I have fear. And there's people that are working with me, there's people that are praying for me, and there's people who are talking to me and convincing me in my mind that I have to keep going. And the thing that keeps going back and forth in my mind is when I would tell my clients, never give up. And then I would tell them, I expect nothing but the best. I expect nothing less, nothing more, but the best. A friend of mine, Anita, would say, "You have two choices. You can sink or swim, but you will swim. Pretty much, you have that choice. You're going to swim. You're going to succeed." As we go into our endeavors, as we go into our businesses, as we go into our life, we need to look for those successful people in our lives that are willing to help us. I have some men in my life that constantly encourage me. They constantly praise me. They constantly say yes. They constantly say, if I have even the smallest thing, I told them the other day, well, I drove for the first time. And they made it sound like I had driven the Indianapolis 500 and had won. But that's the kind of encouragement that I need. If you don't have that kind of circle, then you need to find that kind of circle. The other point is the simple things that my occupational therapist is teaching me. I start laughing sometimes when she's doing these lessons for me, and she'll look at me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not making fun of you. It's just that those little simple steps that I'm supposed to be taking are so easy and so simple, but yet they're so hard, and I have to constantly tell myself, you can do it. Sometimes we neglect those little simple steps in life, and we neglect those little steps that will build us and make us a better person. I have to think about climbing a curb. Most people don't go, they just go at it, but it's that little simple step in life that motivates me to be able to stand up on a curb. The other day I stood up for 15 minutes. I stood up at church for 15 minutes leading the music. Was it hard for me? Yes, it was. Did I get tired? Yes, I did. But the thing about it is that I had to make it. I had to do it because I can't be sitting down all the time. I can't be just laying there all the time. And it got to the point that that's all that I was doing. So therefore, I had to turn on the light back away. I had to learn how to stand up. I had to convince myself you have to stand up. You cannot be laying down. You cannot go through life sitting. You'll see me with a walker, and one of the things I have to constantly tell myself is quit using the walker so much. Don't use that walker so much. I have another walker that doesn't have a seat, and I'm going to graduate to that more and more as I go through it. Will I get tired? Yes. Will my legs get tired? Yes. Not because I'm hurting, but because I have to build up those muscles, which gets me to the third point. Besides the simple things in life that I have to go through in order to learn how to succeed doing the major things in life, I have to work my muscles. I have to work my core muscles. Without my core muscles, it's hard for me to do anything. So I have to constantly think the core muscles in my body are going to help me succeed. I have to exercise. As we're going through our lives, we have to exercise our minds. As I'm going through this process, I'm reading higher level books. I'm studying higher level stuff. I'm challenging myself to do better in reading, to do better in analyticals things. I have a mind that was analytical. I had a mind that could solve problems, and I'm having to work that out again so that I can start resolving my own issues and other people when they come to me to talk. It's a constant battle. It's a constant work. It's a constant workout. And we do get frustrated. We do get tired. But when you have a good support system, you want to accomplish those things. I can look at the negative, and trust me, I've looked at a lot of negative. But when I start looking at the negative, everything goes wrong. Yeah, I believe in the power of positive thinking. Yes, I believe that God can help me. And yes, I believe that there are scriptures that are going to help me succeed in life. I know that. But the minute I start doubting myself is the minute that I start failing myself. Start doubting yourself and start believing in yourself. I'm going to start doing that a little bit more and more. Thank you. Sorry for the long video, but I will see you soon, and I'm going to try to start posting these once again. Thank you. Have a great night.